Hey guys, it's Fred and Cindy with Bearfoot RV Life. We are doing a quick review on a adventure we took last night, all night.
It was called the Haunted Road there in Orlando.
It's brand new.
It's actually almost all the way to Titusville. It's so far over, at least it was for us, because we're coming from the Tampa area.
And this is the next day and we're headed into town.
It was a very, very, very long night for us. So I apologize up front. I know we look pretty rough, but we got very little sleep.
Hey, speak for yourself. I'm always good looking. But stay till the end and we will give your opinion on if we would do it again or not. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Share us out. Give us a big thumbs up. Leave a comment, please. If you're coming back to the channel, thank God. We appreciate it. We really appreciate all the love and support. We do this for you guys, so thank you so much. Let's get on with it. Let's play the first scene. Well, let's set it up first. So tell them exactly how it works.
Okay, well, apparently this is not a drive-through haunted house like everybody expected.
And if you look at the website, you think that too.
Yeah, it doesn't really say exactly what it is, but everybody was expecting a drive-through haunted house since most haunted houses are closed due to COVID this year. We expected like ghouls and zombies and like guys with chainsaws and ghosts and things, you know, coming up out of the woods scaring you, and we knew that there would be like scenes, so we kind of expected that.
In our mind, we thought we would move scene to scene and you would pull up like the stages in front of you.
Yeah, and then like groups of cars would be parked kind of all facing the same way, kind of like a drive-in theater, and that everybody would see the scene and then you would move to the next scene, and then, you know, another group of cars would come in, and it was not quite like that. But
well, let's show the first scene right here.
Okay. a story of Rapunzel. It's not a haunted house. So I have to give some props to the actors. It's hot and humid still in Florida, so they're in costumes and masks, which, by the way, you're required to wear your mask in your car at all times unless your windows are rolled up.
Which is beyond stupid.
We can't figure out why, because you're never closer than 6 feet.
And you're moving away from everybody when you're driving.
So I don't understand the need for that. But anyways, that's their rule.
It's actually part of it's based on the Grimm fairy tale.
So all of the action was on the driver's side. So
if you're a passenger, you're out of luck, dude.
Yeah, I had a hard time seeing. They have different radio stations for each scene. Some of them worked, some of them did not. If they did not work, then you were really SOL because you couldn't tell what was going on.
And a lot of the scenes, the way you were configured on the parking, you're behind the scenes, so you don't even know what was going on.
Yeah, so it's circular parking.
Yeah, it was really stupid.
Which, for space-saving purposes, I see why they did that, but it made it very, very hard for the bulk of the cars to see the action. And the actors did try to walk around and stuff, but it was, especially if the radio wasn't working, it was kind of useless. So, for space saving, they had to do it this way. I get it. It did make for some very, very tight turns for us in a big truck as we went from scene to scene. On the second scene that we went to...
and how long were we on the road, the two-lane road?
Hang on. So the second scene that we went to, the radio didn't work, and I had absolutely no idea what was going on at all, because I couldn't... Well, neither one of us could see anything. But so when you buy your tickets, and this is another thing I don't understand. You buy your tickets, so it's basically per car. However, you get charged per person. So we're not normally night owls, so I tried to get one of the earliest times. And when I put that there was more than one person, it said I had to pick another time. So I'm not quite sure why. And then you had package upgrades you could do, which thank goodness we did not do. So
oh my God, I feel so bad for the people who did.
So our time was 10:25, and they were very specific. Don't arrive more than 5 minutes early because there's really no place to park.
And we will read you some of the Facebook comments because she was reading them as we were going home because people were leaving comments while they were stuck in traffic.
Yeah. So it was. Our time was 10:25. We never heard from them saying come later. Some people apparently did get emails saying show up an hour later, we're running late. We got there at 9:30. We got in line on Lake Pickett Drive or Lake Pickett Road, and we waited for 2.5, close to 3 hours before we even got to the entrance. So it was.
I was looking forward to this ever since.
Yeah, we've been looking forward to this for a long time.
I got all my cameras set up for night shooting and everything. I was ready to rock and roll. Baby.
So when you get there, and thank goodness we had made a potty break before we got in line, because y'all know me, I have the world's tiniest bladder. And I quit drinking because I just had a funny feeling. There's no bathrooms. So there were a ton of people who had to go to the bathroom, and there's nowhere to go.
Tell them about the girl that walked by.
Yeah, so obviously people behind us, they're all wondering what's going on. So this lady walked along traffic, and it was probably backed up a mile or more, and it took us 3 hours to go that long.
She walked along the grassy area up right to the...
When she came back, I called out to her. I'm like, ma'am, can you tell us what's going on? And she just completely ignored us and just kept walking. I mean,
I know she heard it because you're right. She was literally, Cindy could have touched her. She was so close.
Yeah, so that was pretty rude. But anyways, I mean,
Yeah,
that had nothing to do with the production.
That was just weird, but that happened, so I thought we'd share it with you. We share everything.
I liked the idea, and it was a great idea that these people came up with, but the execution lacked a lot.
Okay, read some of the comments.
So here's some of the comments.
And then after this, we'll give you a synopsis and tell you whether we would do it again.
Most people are looking for refunds.
Yep.
Here's another one. Our time was 9:40. We didn't get an early email saying to come later. The line was moving slow, extremely unorganized. Hopefully they'll do the right thing and refund for those of us that couldn't stay in line for hours.
These are actual comments on Facebook.
Yep. So we didn't get home last night until 3 a.m. So that's not us. And apparently, so this was like their second night. The first night, Friday night, they had a pipe burst, so they ended up canceling. We're turning left.
Sorry, guys.
So here's somebody. First, I need to say I run a haunted forest in Georgia and had high hopes for this attraction. The first rule of an event is line management and communication. Well, this did not happen. They needed someone to direct traffic on the road. I get it, the first night has hiccups, but this was more like emergency surgery. It needs to be promoted as a dramatic road, as it was not scary at all.
No.
The volunteer actors tried and did good with the material they had, but the material was bad. We paid the $79 for the VIP experience. It was the biggest joke and what makes me the most angry. Do I want my money back? No. As to me and my friends, we laughed so much at the disaster, we thought it was worth it. Here's somebody who said, not worth it. We had an 8:30 p.m. reservation time. We were stuck in the car line until 11:20 on a 2-lane road in the middle of nowhere. No bathrooms, no portalettes once you're on the property, and once you get on the property, it's a mile to where the actual check-in is.
And it is tight driving. Because it's 2 lanes, well, it's 2-way traffic, and I'm telling you, it is
He was
tight.
almost hitting the poles with his, marking the traffic with his mirrors. You drive and stop at scenes that take forever to start and tell a weird story about Rapunzel. Each scene takes like 10 minutes of setup and 3 minutes of play acting. Nothing scary. We were only on scene 3 and everyone in the car is stressed out for the fact that we can't get out.
Okay, stop right there for a second. I want to say something. Now, we got home at 3 a.m. and we're going to tell you guys right now, we did an emergency. We left after the 3rd scene. We left early. We did they backed us up and got us out of there. It's called an emergency exit because we couldn't take it anymore. So we could have been home at like 5 a.m. or something, you know?
Yeah. So thank goodness we did the emergency bailout.
Yeah. So.
And I felt bad.
Spoiler alert: we did not watch the whole thing because we couldn't do it.
And then here's somebody, I'm sad to read these reviews because I have tickets for next weekend and I'm over an hour away and can't sit in line for hours. I only booked because I saw you could reserve a time. To think I was mad at the hour it took to get into another event tonight.
There was somebody from Jacksonville. There were people that came out of state and rented hotel rooms.
Some people online said they were coming from Georgia who had reservations for the first night. It got canceled, so they added on an extra hotel night so they could go last night. And maybe that was part of the problem why everything was so backed up, because all the people that got canceled last night got pushed in, but they were sold out, so all these extra cars came in.
Yeah. A water main burst or something.
Yeah, some water pipe burst at this event venue. I get it, things happen. But for us, the experience was awful.
Yes.
Our daughter wanted to come with us, and I'm so thankful she didn't, because she would have just gone ballistic.
She would have been pissed.
It was bad enough that we had to suffer through this. Again, props to the actors. They tried.
And there's going to be a lot of Halloween stuff, I'm sure, coming up, guys. So we will, again, share it with you. And we've come up with a conclusion that everything that we do, at the end of it, we will give you our pros and cons, whether we do it again, and if it's worth the money, whether it's a campground or it's a roadside attraction or whatever it is.
It was dark.
You can probably figure this out before we get to this.
It was dark. It was, so made for what could have been really cool event. Traffic directing was fine. However, it was just a little too dark. It was very hard to see where you're supposed to go. Maybe if they'd had reflective tape lining the way, or a little bit more lighting. But when we said we had a medical emergency and needed to leave, they hopped on it. It was a little hard at first because they told us to park, and because we're in a big vehicle, it was a little hard to maneuver.
And then I had to back out, but I mean, like she said, they got us out quick. I mean,
yeah, and they accommodated us.
She just had back surgery. That's what was the medical emergency. We didn't make it up, and she can't sit for a long period of time. And she had it. She couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, it was, especially knowing we had a 2-hour drive home after all this.
It was making her sick. So that's why we didn't make it up just to get out of there.
But it was.
I would suggest you do if you need to. But yeah, we couldn't leave. She's like, if you want to leave, we can leave. My back's killing me, and I don't think I can make it to the end anyways. And like I said, you end up in the back behind the scenes, which I'll show you another one right here where we were behind it, and this one, I mean, you can't see anything but a bunch of girls running around and stuff. So.
Get out of here! Get out! Please help me! She's crazy! Please! Get me out of here, please! Please! Help me, please! Look at what you've done! Please, help! Get out of here!
I wish I could.
Help!
No idea what was going on. The radio wasn't working. All I heard was just a bunch of females yelling, "Help!"
Yeah.
I don't know why they were yelling,
if you're on
help.
the passenger side of the car, you're done, dude. You ain't saying anything.
And I can only wiggle and turn so much since my surgery. I haven't gotten full range of motion.
If you got a carload of kids, the ones they're going to be fighting. To be on the driver's side part of it. So that's
overall
that's our story about our little adventure we took last night.
Overall,
Saturday night. What was the date on it? Saturday night. What? September what?
September 26th,
2020. So if you're watching this later, that's when it was. Would we do it again?
We've passed pinch a penny, honey.
Okay, that's fine.
Would
we do it again? Me, no.
Would not recommend it. For those of you that have tickets upcoming, maybe they'll work the line situation out better. The driving, the traffic. I don't know. I truly wish we had just stayed home, and even though it would have meant wasting the money, I wish we would have stayed home, saved the gas,
and like somebody said on Facebook, they deceive you very much, because when you look at their website, it doesn't look like anything that when you get there. So you're very deceived in what.
And the few comments that I read, these are mild. These were very mild. We saw so many nasty comments.
Yeah, there were some mad people, and
rightfully so.
And they're doing this while they're stuck in traffic, so they're going to be very perturbed.
Apparently, some drivers were, I guess, I don't want to say getting into fights, but getting into yelling at each other. We heard some commotions as we were sitting in traffic, but I think it was people just being fun and hooting and hollering, and that's, you know, no big deal. I truly feel bad for the people that live on that road.
Yeah, trying to get home would be impossible.
Yeah, because there were two roads that kind of intersected at a stoplight, which messed things up too. And so those people trying to get home, once they made it home, they were stuck. So
Okay, you're not leaving.
yeah.
So that's our adventure for yesterday. We wanted to put this video out as quick as possible because everybody on Facebook that commented wanted us to do this, and hopefully people that are watching this and that are going, maybe they can save money by canceling before it happens. If not, we warned you.
And maybe it'll get better.
Yeah, I mean,
You can always hope.
I mean, I want to be the optimistic person and say, you know, it was their first Saturday night. Maybe that's what happened. You know, maybe that's why it was so bad. But it's not going to fix the way they got it set up to where everything's on the driver's side. You're still not going to see any of the scenes. You're still everybody on the passenger side. That's not going to change. Even if the driving, you know, if they fix everything with the driving perfectly, it still, to me, isn't worth it.
Hopefully they'll get the radio stations working. They did. Now, one good thing, so at each scene there was a sign telling you which station to tune to. However, the guy that checked us in and scanned our little thing told us the wrong channel to start with.
Each scene is a different channel.
Yeah, each scene is a different channel, so hopefully you've got a passenger who can be changing the channel.
You need to drive through something where they're jumping inside your car and screaming at you and scaring you.
They don't touch your car.
Yeah.
And you know, some people would not mind.
I would wear my mask for that, you know.
Some people would have a conniption if they touched your car.
But everybody's staying 6 feet away, and it's boring. To me, you know, I see you standing there, what are you going to do? You're not going to hit me with a chainsaw 6 feet away, so. But we rambled on enough, I think. What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Overall, wouldn't do it again. Wouldn't recommend it.
No. I'm hoping, you know, more Halloween stuff will come out, so we'll make sure we get it. We'll do some more Halloween videos and Christmas videos. Just stay tuned if you're new. I hope everybody who subscribed through Facebook and everything in the last couple of days, I hope you guys stay, because we got some really cool stuff coming up, some giveaways. So when we get to 300 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway. So make sure you stay tuned. And from me and Cindy, we hope we see you around the campfire. Bye, guys.
Bye.